Welcome back to Brian Knows Movies. This is your horror movie expert bringing you my review of Smile. Okay, let's talk about Smile. This is director Parker Finn's first feature-length film. He's basing it off of his shorts, Laura Hasn't Slept. Now, Smile is about a psychiatrist named Rose, who's played by Sosie Bacon. Rose is dedicated to serving those who have mental health issues, mental health trauma, and are in desperate need of care. She works in an ER psychiatric ward providing care to patients. She has a patient, Laura, played by Stasey, who is admitted to the hospital. She seems to be having panic attacks. She's seeing this apparition, this ghost, this spirit taking over people's faces and smiling at her menacingly, trying to basically warn her like, hey, I'm going to kill you. You're going to die pretty soon. So she's paranoid, she's frightened, and she wants somebody to just believe her and to help her. Of course, Rose, who deals with people with mental health issues all the time, doesn't believe her, but wants to help work through her issues. Laura starts to have another panic attack, and it's pretty violent. Rose runs for help, comes back to the room only to see Laura standing there getting ready to commit suicide by impaling herself. And she does just that. This is completely traumatizing for Rose. As she goes home, she's trying to relax, and then all of a sudden, she starts seeing the same mental images that Laura did. She knows that these are not hallucinations. She knows that she's in danger, and she wants to get to the bottom of what's going on. The role of psychologists have been used in horror films for quite some time. Ever since The Exorcist, we've seen this professional come into a supernatural space and try to explain away the phenomenon using logic and reason and theory. This character is supposed to create some tension with the main character who is experiencing things within their environment. They are being told that what they experience is within their head. Parker Finn does the same thing here, only the psychologist is now the one who is experiencing these supernatural phenomenon and nobody believes her. And I think that that's a unique trick, and that's an interesting trick, but for the purpose of this film, I think it really hinders it. Something I really don't like about this film is its handling of the mental health situation. It seems like at first, Parker Finn really wants to have a theme of understanding those who are dealing with mental health issues or mental health emergencies. Early on in the film, there's a detective that comes to the hospital and interviews Rose about the suicide of Laura, and the language that he uses is so offensive. Everything from nut job to you name it, he's calling Laura and how she was acting in the hospital. And it's so hard to believe that a person who makes the rank of detective is going to go interview a medical professional and use that language in the interview. For some reason, they kept slamming guys like him throughout the film who are dismissive or downright ugly to the situations of mental health that some people go through. So I'm like, okay, I get it. You're trying to raise awareness about mental health and you want us to take it seriously. Fine, gotcha. But here's the thing, Rose doesn't have any mental health issues. She's seeing things because of the spirit, not because of anything specifically that's happening in her mind. And yet, when her colleagues, when friends, when family members ask her to get help, there's something wrong, there's a need for you to either get medication or treatment or go to a facility or what have you, they look like assholes because you're like, hey guys, listen to her, it's obviously not mental health. So on one hand, it's trying to raise mental health awareness, but then on the other, it's like, I don't know, it's just being dismissive of it. I don't understand what the movie is really trying to say about mental health. With that being such a sensitive and important topic, especially today, you really can't fumble and bungle that messaging like this film did. It really takes this film down a notch. At times, these characters are just way too melodramatic. It's almost laughable, some of these scenes. Sosie Bacon, she goes home after Laura kills herself and she's dealing with the shock of seeing something so horrific, and I get that, but there was things that she was doing where she was drinking a glass of wine in a way that I don't think anybody, no matter how shocked they are, would ever drink anything. It's just so weird, the overacting that's being done here. I was waiting on The Young and the Restless music to drop, or The Guiding Light, or something like that, Dynasty. It was so over the top. You see overacting from characters throughout the film. It's not going to take you out the film, but you are going to notice, that's you're putting on a little bit too much hot sauce on these scenes. And again, since there's multiple characters doing this, I feel like these are script notes or notes from the director that's being given to the actors. Sosie Bacon, she did okay in the film. I really empathized with her and really felt how exhausted and tired she was from the way that she acted without saying anything. The look of just exhaustion and pain in her face. Shout out to the makeup artist on this film and costume design, because as you go through the film, she just looks more and more beat up. And really great job from her. Penn had the most nuanced portrayal of all the supporting actors. I thought that he did a great job. Stasey, she was great in her role. A lot of the supporting characters in this film, though, they're not really given a lot to chew on, so either they are overacting or they are very forgettable. All in all, though, it was fine. The character performances, they're okay. Just calm down a little bit with overacting. But what really does save this film is the special effects, the practical effects, the design of the apparitions and the creatures in the film, the score that builds tension so that when the jump scare comes, it's unexpected. The tension's there, but it's still unexpected. Music plays a big part of that. I think that they nailed all of those portions of the movie. The final act especially, when you get to the climax of this film, it really speeds up and looks great. It's discombobulating in a good way. You really, really get to see some cool things at the end of this film. Okay, what's my rating? See it, stream it, or skip it. I am giving Smile a stream it, but barely. I think that it has a lot of issues in the way that it bungled the mental health aspect of this film. I think that some of that is pretty triggering. It was clumsily done, and it really takes what was a really good concept down quite a few pegs. But I think the apparitions look great, and the special effects, the makeup, the actual horror elements of this film is serviceable. I can see you sitting on your couch with some friends, as long as you're not going to take this movie too seriously, having a decent time with it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that loves movies. If you're going to go see Smile, come back, let me know what you think about it, especially the parts that I have some real serious issues with, dealing with mental health. Do you think that I'm overanalyzing this film, or are you with me that they probably bungled some of those portions? Thank you so much for supporting me. I'm starting to crank out a lot more content, so please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the movie news or reviews or shorts that I'm putting out for you now. I have some really cool things coming out for you in October. Thank you, and I will see you at the theaters next week.